When the Raiders make a move, we break it all down for you on the Raiders Report. So what I want you to do is subscribe and turn on those notifications. How? You click the bell right underneath the video. That way you never miss anything going on around the silver and black. We do have some news here to cover. The Las Vegas Raiders have gone out and hired Champ Kelly as their assistant general manager. Now, if you've watched the Raiders Report for a while, you'll know that this is the plan all along. The day that they hired Dave Ziegler, the day that they hired Josh McDaniels, I went live on the Raiders Report and I said, do not be surprised if Champ Kelly is hired as assistant general manager. Now, for those of you that do not know who Kelly is, he actually did interview for the general manager position, though everything that I've heard, this was the plan all along. And he has a lot of connections with players. Khalil Mack could not speak highly enough of him. In fact, Khalil Mack came out and said that if it was up to him, he would have made Champ Kelly the general manager of the Chicago Bears. In terms of some of the paths or where Kelly has been, back in 2007, a college scout with Denver. 2008, 2009, assistant director of scouting. You're seeing some overlaps here with Josh McDaniels. That's where this connection also comes. In 2010 to 2014, also with the Broncos, Kelly GM interviews throughout his past 2 years. The Jets in 2019, Falcons in 2020, the Broncos in 2021, and then this season, the Chicago Bears and the Las Vegas Raiders. The reason why I absolutely love this move, well, how about this? Before I give you my full answer, I want you to grade the hire of Champ Kelly as assistant general manager. A, B, C, D, or F. F, you hated it. D, it's bad. C, it was average. B, it's good. A, it's a great hire. Let's go back to school. Grade the hire of Champ Kelly. I think it is absolutely an A grade. It's a great addition because one of the things that I said multiple times, if you're going to bring in somebody like Josh McDaniels, who has definitely had his past issues in terms of being able to connect with players, you need to be able to find guys that have the ability to connect with players. And on top of that, you can't give too much power to one person like John Gruden have. So you've already seen Dave Ziegler. They're going to work together with McDaniels. And now the fact that you're adding in Champ Kelly as well, you're seeing more people that are going to have more minds around what the Raiders should do. He has got a great background in terms of college scouting. And let's face it, when you have the amount of first-round busts that the Raiders have had the past few years, college scouting, background in a lot of professional settings as well is extremely important. Now, I do think he will be a general manager eventually, and the fact that he's going to have some time to work underneath somebody like Ziegler, who's had a lot of success, who's very well respected, the fact that he's also going to be able to work with a very smart offensive-minded dude like Josh McDaniels is why I love this. And for the Raiders to succeed, for the Raiders to continue to get better, you have to have a good draft this year. Not only because your last first-round pick, Alex Leather, wasn't good. Not because Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett are no longer in the NFL anymore. 2019 with Cleveland Ferrell, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, that wasn't very well put together either. This draft is in Las Vegas. There's going to be a ton of eyes on you to succeed right away, and it starts in the draft. No doubt about it. Now, here's so far the Raiders' new staff. You have general manager Dave Ziegler, head coach Josh McDaniels, assistant GM Champ Kelly, and then today on Wednesday, the Raiders also decided to bring back Edgar Bennett, which Edgar Bennett is the wide receivers coach. For those of you that don't know a lot about Bennett, Bennett had a really good connection, again, with the receivers. There was a video around Zay Jones and Bennett talking to each other that went viral on social media. Why? Bennett's another guy who was really able to connect with players, which, again, very important when you're looking at Josh McDaniels as your head coach. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and bet on the Raiders winning the Super Bowl next year, you can go ahead and do so. I personally recommend that you just bet on the Super Bowl this year. Whether you want to bet on the Bengals at +4. You want to bet on the over-under? It's set at 49 points. You want to bet on the color of the Gatorade, the head toss, the coin toss, heads or tails? Here's where you got to do it. You got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders, promo code Raiders125 to get you 125% deposit bonus. For those of you that don't know how good of a deal that is, I use pizza as an example because I think it works well. Imagine buying a pizza. We're essentially giving you an extra pizza for free and then 2 additional slices on top of that. It is the best deal on the internet. Chatsports.com/Raiders. Promo code Raiders125 is the only way you're going to get 125% deposit bonus. So not only did the Raiders hire assistant general manager Champ Kelly, like I mentioned, they're also bringing back Edgar Bennett as a wide receivers coach, and he's been on the Raiders staff since 2018. Bennett did interview for the Bills' offensive coordinator job, but unfortunately for him, he did not get it. Fortunately, though, for the Raiders, because he is a very well-respected wide receiver coach from top to bottom. Now, as it stands right now, Bennett is the only move that the Raiders have made with the Ziegler and McDaniels staff. I know there's been some other rumors out there, though they haven't been confirmed, and I'll talk about them here in a second. But for Bennett's coaching time, 2005 to 10, running backs coach, 2011 to 14, a wide receivers coach, offensive coordinator in Green Bay from 2015 to 17, and now the Raiders wide receivers coach. So get in the comments. What is your one-word reaction to keeping Bennett on the staff? Realistically, when I think about it, it's kind of a simple word. I could think of two words. I'm going to say clutch, and I'm going to say smart. And the reason why it's clutch, and I put this out on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365, is because McDaniels has always been regarded as this great offensive mind. And he even said it himself. His first stint with the Denver Broncos, he wasn't able to connect with players. You also heard old Broncos players as well that said he just couldn't relate with us, and they couldn't get him out of there quick enough. So when you keep somebody like Bennett, who can connect with the players on top of that, that's going to be very good for Las Vegas. And what's been the other biggest issue from all of the Patriots staffs? You can say what you want about Belichick. You can say what you want about McDaniels. Maybe even Ziegler. They've really struggled being able to find wide receiver talent. I believe Bennett's going to be able to help the Raiders and help Derek Carr do exactly that. So as it stands right now, here's your Raiders wide receiver depth chart. You have Zay Jones, free agent. Deshaun Jackson, a free agent. You know Hunter Renfrow is going to be a solid slot receiver. They need to extend him ASAP Rocky. But after what I saw this season, after Henry Ruggs had his incident, Bryan Edwards could not create separation. So if you're the Raiders, you not only have to go out and get somebody like a Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams type of receiver as a one, you might also want to think about trying to go out and add somebody like a Michael Gallup, a DJ Chark, maybe a Cordell Patterson could be a name to throw in there. And then maybe even on top of all of that, go out and get one of these top receivers in the draft. You need to be able to find some more wide receiver talent. Now on Twitter, Mike Kliss, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Raiders are interviewing Broncos special teams coordinator Tom, oh man, how do you say that? McMahon? All right. Today, per source, McMahon and Josh McDaniels were on the same St. Louis Rams staff back in 2011. The reason why this is going to upset a lot of people is because there's a lot of Raider fans that want them to bring back Rich Bisaccia. Rich Bisaccia did a phenomenal job, I think, helping the Raiders get to the playoffs. He was the first coach in over 50 years to be able to be an interim head coach and get his team to the playoffs. If it was up to me, I would do everything in my power to bring back Bisaccia to get him back on the staff. Though, there's also been multiple reports. I've also been told by somebody who knows Bisaccia's daughter that him and the current staff thought it was a, quote, spit in the face that they were unable to come back and be the coaches for the Raiders after everything they did. When you go back and look at some of the Raiders stuff, Jack Del Rio took the Raiders to the playoffs. He got a hefty raise, and then unfortunately for Bisaccia, he was unable to get that. I think McDaniels is a better coach than Bisaccia, but being able to keep these glue guys on this Raiders staff after everything they went through this past year, I do think it'd be pretty important. Now, if you guys want to hit me up on Instagram, if you want to talk more Raiders with me, remember, I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. I'm also going to be doing an Instagram Live. Plus, on top of that, I do my best to keep you guys even more updated than I do just on the Raiders Report. So please, don't be afraid to give me a follow on IG and on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365.